You're watching WDAY Extra.
The big spring storm here is still lingering around the region. It's just about moving into our area this morning. I know see some maybe a few very light snow showers kind of popping up in the radar here, but more snow basically across eastern South Dakota into the Minneapolis area this morning with a few more waves of some heavy snow for us. I know it looks like some snow is coming down here, but it's running into some very dry air that's still in place. Eventually that'll kind of move on out here. So actually turning on the radar, you can see how it kind of tapers off. So this is likely maybe a little dusting, a few flurries in a few places. I'll be going over more of the snow and let you know when much of the valley will end up seeing this here throughout the day and what other impacts we'll experience. All this coming up here on First News, which starts right now.
You're watching WDAY First News, the news leader.
This is First on First News. Her husband is charged with murder, and this morning, this Moorhead mom will be sentenced for what she did after the deadly McDonald's drive-by shooting.
And the spring snowstorm is about to settle into the region. Our WDAY Storm Tracker team is tracking your commute conditions, plus just how much snow we're going to get.
And First News takes you down to Hankinson, where they already have a couple of inches of snow on the ground. We'll show you what conditions look like coming up.
And First News is taking you to Parkland, Florida this morning, where parents of shooting victims are suing the school district. We'll tell you why they say administrators and the sheriff's department should pay millions for their actions.
Good morning. It's Thursday, April 11th, just after 5 o'clock. I'm Sarah Redlang.
And I'm Rob Manch. And that spring storm our WDAY Storm Tracker team has been tracking all week is set to hit this morning. Storm Tracker meteorologist Jared Piepenberg is keeping tabs on when and how much we're expecting.
Yeah, it's kind of just knocking on the door right now for us. It is just to our south. We noticed that yesterday, but within maybe about the next 6 hours here, much of the area is going to start seeing some snow, at least for the southern half of the valley. The north may take a little while before we get that, maybe this afternoon. But this morning, we're seeing just a few little waves of some very light snow kind of moving into the southern half of the valley. Some drier air in place, still kind of have that northeast wind, which is a drier wind for us for today. Kind of holding off that snow, but just could see a little dusting, a few snowflakes here early this morning. But more of this will fill in. This isn't going to be the end of it by any means for us. More snow expected here throughout the day. Still multiple weather headlines. The orangish red shaded area is going to be our blizzard warning. That's where we're going to have the toughest travel conditions with the wind and snow combination. The pink shaded area is still very tough travel. We're going to have some pretty gusty winds here throughout the day, but the heavier snow will be kind of in the pink shaded area into the blizzard warning, and then the north near Grand Forks, the winter weather advisory. There'll be some tough travel, just not expecting as much snow. The wind's already been picking up this morning out of the northeast for the southern half of the valley, and more wind is expected here throughout the day. Temperatures, what we're at right now, basically what we're going to be like later on today, overnight, and into tomorrow. So about the next 48 hours or so, temperatures really not going to change much, within probably 3-4 degrees of what we're at right now. So holding pretty steady here, kind of a flat line of temperatures. When I come back here in a little bit, that snow is moving in. I'll be going over the timing of that all morning long here, give an idea how much we'll be seeing and how the wind will play a role in travel impacts across the region.
And snow, of course, is our top story this morning. It's only a matter of hours until that winter storm that Jared just mentioned begins to make its way into the metro.
And WDAY reporter Emily Olson is joining us live this morning while following that storm. Good morning, Emily.
Rob, Sarah, good morning. Well, we thought that we were out of the woods and on our way into spring, but it turns out we still have to get through this winter spring snowstorm that is on its way to the metro. Right now we're in Hankinson, which is about 20 minutes until the South Dakota border, and they already have a couple of inches of snow on the ground. But what I want to show you are some of these flags here at the Hankinson Fire Protection District. You can see that they are moving quite a bit, and that's really been the story throughout the morning. As we were on our way down to Hankinson taking I-29, we did notice that there were a lot of gusting winds, and we really started to see some light scattered snow drifts when we started to pass through Colfax. And then it wasn't until we got to Wahpeton we saw that snow really starting to stick to the ground. And just as a reminder, if you do take I-29 near Hankinson, it is not plowed yet, but it really wasn't affecting speeds too much. We did slow down just a little bit, but throughout the rest of the morning, we're going to keep you guys updated on the snow conditions and also the road conditions. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Emily. And as we prepare for that snow to hit our region, South Dakota is dealing with lots of snow and high wind speeds right now.
Yeah, if you're planning to head to South Dakota, don't. I-29 from North Dakota border to Sioux Falls is closed because of a blizzard in South Dakota, and some places in South Dakota already have more than a foot of snow. And winds are gusting to 40 miles an hour, making whiteout conditions. And in southern Minnesota, a handful of highways just south of the Twin Cities are closed. This video is from I-35 yesterday. This morning, wind gusts are expected around 50 miles per hour. Authorities say you should expect these conditions to continue into tomorrow.
Well, the city of Fargo is now gearing up to go back into winter mode. With that snow in the forecast, they worked all day yesterday, putting plows back on and getting trucks ready to spread sand. They also have to pull off around 30 water pumps to protect them from the snow. They say even if the snow misses us, they couldn't take that chance. The city would like to remind people that even though we won't get as much snow as our neighbors to the south, the streets will still be slippery, so drive carefully.
And the big snowstorm coming our way is going to have a huge impact on the flood fight. Crews have been busy delivering sandbags will be driving plows the next few days. With only a dozen Guard members now available, people are being asked to get their requests for sandbags in now, as it may become impossible later.
And make sure your man-made levees are built strong enough to sustain 40-mile-per-hour winds and crashing waves. And unlike your typical winter storm where snowbanks pile up on the road, now there's only water, making no room for error. With so much water on the roadways, there are concerns about ice jams creating water to dam up. Road crews will be keeping a close eye on that and have equipment ready to break up the ice.
And floodwaters are now encroaching on a historic small-town church. Nora Lutheran in Gardner is completely surrounded by overland flooding and its cemetery submerged. It's no stranger to high waters, though. It saw flooding in 97, 2009, 10, and 11. Members say they hope the water goes down before Lenten services are just around the corner. An Easter egg hunt on Saturday will be postponed and services canceled until the waters recede. And we have some breaking news out of London this morning. WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange has been arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy. Police say they took Assange into custody on a court warrant from 2012. Assange hasn't been left the embassy since August 2012 out of fear of being extradited to the U.S. for publishing thousands of classified military and diplomatic documents on WikiLeaks. Police say Assange is being held in central London at a station there and will be brought to Westminster Magistrates Court as soon as possible.
And another indictment could be coming related to special counsel Robert Mueller's probe. This time it involves a former Obama official. Attorneys for Greg Craig, a former White House counsel, say they expect him to be indicted. He came under legal scrutiny for reportedly lying to investigators about the work he did for Ukraine back in 2012. The special counsel initially looked into the case, but it was later transferred to a federal court in Washington. Sources familiar with the matter say the indictment could come as early as today. Craig's attorneys maintain that he is innocent, and prosecutors in New York have also looked into the case and decided not to bring charges.
Today, a Moorhead mom charged with kidnapping her own kids will be sentenced. 39-year-old Izetta Cooley pleaded guilty in November to one felony count of violating custody protection orders. Additional charges were dropped. 5 of Cooley's children went missing in September. She was accused of taking 2 from foster care.
And Cooley's husband, Miguel Cooley, is charged with murder in connection with the fatal shooting of 20-year-old Gabriel Perez back on September 23rd. He's headed for a trial in September.
The European Union has granted the United Kingdom's request for an extension on Brexit. This comes before the hard deadline that was set for tomorrow. The so-called flextension the EU granted kicks the can down the road for as long as 6 months until Halloween. There's also a review set for June. British Prime Minister Theresa May now has to get her withdrawal deal through the British Parliament, which has already rejected it 3 times. The UK also has the option of cancelling Brexit altogether. EU President Donald Tusk finished the announcement yesterday with a message to the UK saying, quote, "Please do not waste time." And UND President Mark Kennedy's new job is in jeopardy after the Board of Regents looks into some controversial votes.
Coming up, we'll tell you why the board is looking into Kennedy further and what could prevent him from getting the job.
Real people steal people. They want real power, real options, and real value. Right now, save $30 on the FSA 56 battery-powered trimmer with purchase of the BGA 56 battery-powered blower set. Or save $20 on the FS70R gas-powered trimmer. This season, make it happen at your local Steel dealer. Search STIHL or visit steeldealers.com.
It's a musical.
Something Rotten is an explosion of musical joy.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
It's got the most laughs, the most singing and dancing, the most surprises, and 10 Tony Award nominations, including Best Musical.
It sounds impressive, doesn't it?
See something hilarious at Something Rotten.
May 1st at the Fargo Dome. Get tickets today at fargodome.com.
Imagine a good morning spent with friends. What's better than that? Imagine knowing what's coming next in the day ahead. Well, I get to live this each morning together with you. Imagine that. And that's what makes it such a good morning, America.
Okay, let me know if you need me.
It's about more than how you got here. The best laid plans, the maybes and the might have beens, the what ifs and what nows, the endless decisions. All that matters now is that you're here, in this place, with these people. All that matters is this moment, when everything changes.
Springtime is the time to buy a new Polaris. Right now, the world's best-selling utility side-by-sides are priced to move, with rebates up to $1,500. Get rolling at Polaris.com.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tony Skeving from Fargo Baptist Church. I just wanted to take a moment to remind you that April 21st is Easter Sunday. I'd like to invite you to join us for our 10:30 service. Hope you can make it. God bless you.
Out in the field when it matters most.
The flood fight of 2019 is well underway.
Folks are bringing up the historic flooding of 2009 to put this flood into context.
Turn to the WDAY Storm Tracker T. The news is brought to you by visitduluth.com.
This morning, kind of a chilly start, and temperatures really not going to change much here throughout the day ahead into tomorrow as well. We're going to hover near freezing. Some of us will be in the upper 20s, others just right around freezing, some lower 30s. We're going to have some snow and wind that's going to be developing here throughout the day, and it's going to get pretty blustery. I'm sure you've all heard that, but what is on the way. The big old spring snowstorm is just to our south right now. Breeze has been picking up already this morning, or the southern half of the valley, getting pretty gusty down toward the south. Winds not quite as strong across the north yet, but those will be increasing. And temperatures really close to freezing in the south with some 20s toward the north. As I mentioned, temps really not forecast to change much here, but snow looks to kind of develop throughout the morning hours for the southern half of the valley. The north, we may not see it until about late afternoon or so from Grand Forks toward the international border. Bemidji, northern parts of Minnesota, probably afternoon toward the evening. This morning, satellite radar, we do have the snow out there. It's just to our south. It just may have a few snowflakes in the southern half of the valley this morning. It's just running into some dry air at the moment, but still have those weather headlines out there: blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings, and the winter weather advisory. The advisory just meaning that it's going to be some difficult travel, just won't be as tough as places likely to the south in the pink to that orangish red shaded area. So things are going to definitely be changing here throughout the day. And temperature wise, not changing much. I'll be talking about that, but of course going over more of the snow and the wind, how to bring some impacts to much of the area throughout the day and all the way into most of your Friday coming up.
UND President Mark Kennedy's new job could be in jeopardy this morning. Yesterday, WDAY told you how Kennedy is the lone finalist to be the next president at the University of Colorado. Last night, Regent Leslie Smith tweeted, quote, "Some information about Mark Kennedy has come to light that is concerning. My colleagues and I will be exploring this further." There's a 14-day vetting period before the Board of Regents votes for the president. Another regent, Carol Napier, told the Boulder Daily Camera newspaper that she's concerned that Kennedy voted against same-sex marriage and abortion rights while in Congress. Napier called on the board to reconsider Kennedy and that voting him in would be harmful. If Kennedy is voted in, he'll leave UND in late May or early June.
The acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement is stepping down. Ron Vitello will leave his leadership post at the end of the week. That's according to a letter sent to ICE employees yesterday. His nomination to lead the agency in a permanent position was suddenly pulled by the White House last Thursday. He was nominated by President Trump to head the agency back in August. But last Friday, Trump said he wanted to go, quote, in a tougher direction.
The families of the victims of the Parkland shooting are seeking millions of dollars in damages. Coming up, we'll tell you about this latest lawsuit and what the families are accusing the school of.
And Dara tells us what the temperatures will look like in our latest snowy forecast.
You've heard their names. The fire-kissed New York strip, the buttery Flo's filet, and the perfectly marbled most wanted outlaw ribeye. Now put a face to those names. Yours. Come on in for our Longhorn Originals and experience steak the way it was meant to be. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Protect your pets from fleas and ticks with Frontline Plus for dogs and Frontline Plus for cats. Its 2 killer ingredients work fast and keep working all month long, preventing new flea infestations on your pet. Frontline Plus, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
It's time to turn heads in a Toyota. Turn up your tunes in the Corolla hatchback with Apple CarPlay compatibility. Turn up your tech in Corolla with pre-collision system standard. Turn up your fun in the Camry with Alexa connectivity. This spring, turn up the heat in a Toyota. Right now, lease a new 2019 Corolla for $209 a month or get $2,000 customer cash on Corolla. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Ready to go when you are.
Wow, you look nice. Getting around isn't as easy as it used to be. That's why we called Bath Fitter. They removed our old tub and installed a beautiful new spacious shower. Now, getting in and out is a breeze. And we have peace of mind with seamless walls that provide a watertight fit, plus their lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, life is so much easier with a shower we love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
It takes a team to bring the story home every day. It takes a leader to build a legacy of trust.
As the only locally owned news station in the region, we're there for you at every turn.
We're your neighbors, telling the stories that matter because your community is our community.
So when you need to reconnect, remember that we're working every day, just like you.
Trying to make a better tomorrow.
WDAY News, the only locally owned news station in the region. You're watching First News on WDAY.
A North Dakota woman is facing felony charges this morning after police say she scammed people with a fake Make-A-Wish page.
33-year-old Kristen Keel of Donnybrook is accused of setting up a Facebook page to fulfill the wish of a sick child. And later, she lied to police, saying someone else set up the account and used her name to solicit funds. Keel is charged with 3 Class C felonies, including 2 counts of forgery and another for fraudulent communications, plus a misdemeanor for lying to police.
The families of the victims of the shooting in Parkland, Florida, have filed a lawsuit. The suit accuses the school district and sheriff's office of negligence. The families say Broward County could have done more to keep their children safe. Now they're seeking millions in damages. An unarmed campus security monitor is also named in that lawsuit. He was the only armed guard on duty that day at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, and he remained outside the school during the shooting because he says he was unsure of the shooter's location. Back in December, a judge dismissed a similar suit from 15 survivors on due process grounds.
And temperatures are slowly going to start dipping as the snow makes its way into the valley. Right, Jared?
Yeah, temperatures just really not going to change much here in the next 48 hours or so. Going to hold pretty steady as the cooler air just kind of settles on in with this snowstorm that is on the way. Just to our south, there's more snow still across South Dakota, southern Minnesota. Just a few flurries, been a little dusting in the southern half of the valley, but more of this will move in throughout the day. But as I mentioned, temps really not changing much. We got some 20s out there, some of us in the lower 30s, so right at freezing in Fargo, Moorhead. As I mentioned, about the next 24 hours ahead, probably not going to change much from what we're at right now. Just give or take maybe about 3 degrees. 32 right now, Fargo, Moorhead, east-northeast winds at 18, so winds picking up in Detroit Lakes. I know I've been, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can notice that the flags is shaking there a little bit. 32 at the moment, east-northeast winds at 14. Quiet this morning in Grand Forks, and not as much wind, just a little breeze, and we're at 30 at the moment. The northern half of the valley, temps kind of upper 20s, lower 30s, holding there throughout the day. Later on, I think this afternoon for the north, north around Grand Forks, we'll start to see that snow develop later on the day. Where the southern half of the valley looks like about mid to late morning is when that'll eventually move in. There's some dry air still sitting over us at the moment with that east-northeast breeze that's kind of holding off that snow. So later on, it will start to develop. Toughest part of the day for travel-wise is going to be this afternoon, evening, in the overnight hours. So this morning's commute, maybe just getting ahead of it here if you're taking off here in the next hour or two. Today, we're going to normally warm up to those lower 30s, as I mentioned. Tomorrow, lower to mid-30s across there. So temps just really not fluctuating much at all. When I come back just a little bit, I'm going to be talking more about the snow and that wind, how it affects your day ahead. We're going to have some blowing snow. So I said later on, there's going to be some very tough travel out there. Already seeing that across parts of South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota. All that coming up not too long from now.
Well, an undercover operation saves dozens of sex trafficking victims during the NCAA Final Four.
We'll tell you how police rescued them and how many people are now behind bars. Plus, we're here in Hankinson where wind gusts are already beginning to pick up. We'll show you what the road conditions look like coming up.
I was proud of my son when he got his degree. I was proud when he got that job in the city. Managed a team. But the day I was most proud was when he realized he was a farmer, like me.
We're Corteva Agriscience, the next generation of farming for the next generation of farmers. Keep growing.
This is you shopping, and this is you maximizing at TJ Maxx. You shopping, you maximizing. You shopping, you maximizing. Find the brands you love and get more you for your money every time. It's not shopping, it's maximizing. Start maximizing today. Max Life at TJ Maxx.
Good news, savvy furniture shoppers. Your patience is about to pay off in the Amish Gallery at Home of Economy. You've waited for our famous 9-hour sale, and it's here this Saturday only. With 10, 20, even 50% off all furniture. Sofas and dining room sets, recliners, home crest patio sets. Everything's at its lowest price of the year. Be smart, be quick, and be here this Saturday only for up to 50% off at the Amish Gallery in Grand Forks and Minot.
Home of Economy.
From the courts to your home, witness every exciting play from the 2019 North Dakota Boys and Girls High School Basketball Championships on DVD. Watch the best of the best.
Thompson is Titletown!
DVDs available for a limited time on WDAY-TV.com. $25 plus tax, shipping, and handling for each game. The 2019 North Dakota Boys and Girls High School Basketball Championships on DVD. Order yours today.
Join us for Ag Week TV on WDAY and WDAZ every weekend, bringing you the latest in ag news, weather, lifestyle, and trends from across the region and the world. This week on Ag Week TV. Donated hay here in South Dakota continues to move south to flooded areas of Nebraska.
I'll explain what this elaborate system of tubing in Maplewood State Park is used for.
Ag Week TV, delivering the complete ag picture every weekend.
The news is brought to you by Menards.
This morning, still tracking that storm system. It is basically just to our south still. I know yesterday we had snow across South Dakota, southern Minnesota. Still dealing with that. Just some drier air in place for us here, kind of holding the snow off this morning, although I've seen just a little bit trying to creep over the border into the southern tier of the Red River Valley. It's basically just been some flurries, if any of this has been reaching the ground at all. More will eventually move in. It's just going to take its time to kind of move on in throughout the day. Multiple weather headlines out there. The purple shaded area is going to be our winter weather advisory, meaning that travel will be tough and will be impacted by our weather. Just won't maybe be as tough as places to the south where we'll have more wind, more snow. Fargo, Moorhead to the border, and then the orange shaded area into west central Minnesota is going to be our blizzard warning, where it'll be the toughest conditions with a lot of wind. Some wind gusts can be 50s, 60s. Yesterday, I know some models are hinting at some wind gusts topping off near 70 miles per hour with this as the system really comes together. Today, though, timing of the snow starts to move over the border in the southern half of the valley about the morning hours to about midday. Got this pause at lunchtime, starting moving the Fargo Moorhead to the south. As we go into the afternoon hours, toward the evening hours, finally reaching around Grand Forks, Bemidji, northern parts of the valley later on. And then as we continue overnight tonight, more snow will continue to fall, be blowing around, very tough travel into tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, I don't think the snow will be as intense, but there'll be still some light areas of snow, and that'll be kind of blowing around as it's still going to be pretty windy and tough getting around all around on your Friday. So snow amounts, southern half of the valley is still likely to see a lot more. Fargo Moorhead, we're going to be kind of in that northern tier of that, the top tier of that 4 to 8 inch range. There's some hints of maybe just a little bit more, but more, of course, will fall in the southern part of the valley. When I come back in a little bit, I'm going to continue to cover this and give you an idea. I'll go over that snow map again, the timing of the snow, just in case you missed it, or maybe just turn on the TV and kind of missed that. I'll be going over that just a few minutes.
Dozens of sex trafficking victims were rescued in a sting operation during the NCAA Final Four games in Minneapolis.
Minnesota BCI says investigators found 28 people, including a minor, who were being trafficked. Undercover agents posed as sex buyers and minors on social media ahead of and during the Final Four. Police say they arrested 47 people on suspicion of solicitation of a minor. 11 people were also booked on probable cause, sex trafficking, and promotion of prostitution. Law enforcement conducted a similar sting when the Super Bowl was at U.S. Bank Stadium last year. A Frazee family in a mobile is lucky to be safe after a car came crashing in.
Yeah, they were sitting in their living room when the car missed them by just a few feet. WDAY News learned from police the driver had gotten into a fight with family on Monday night and drove away before crashing. He was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. He could face careless driving and reckless endangerment charges. Amazon Go stores will soon start letting you use cash.
How the move will make it easier for more people to use the stores. Plus,
we're here in Hankinson where winds are already beginning to pick up. We'll show you the conditions coming up.
Win this 2018 Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited at the Red River Valley Motorcyclists Annual Motorcycle Show, April 13th and 14th at Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Help raise money to honor America's veterans. This year's proceeds will support Veterans Honor Flight, North Dakota, Minnesota, transporting our veterans to visit the memorials dedicated to honor their service. Bring the whole family for an incredible display of motorcycles, vendors, music, food, and presentations. Have fun while supporting a great cause. For more information, call or go online.
Real people, steel people. They want real power, real options, and real value. Right now, save $50 on the hard-working HS45 hedge trimmer, or buy the MM56 CE Steel Yard Boss and receive a free wheel kit. This season, make it happen at your local steel dealer. Search STIHL or visit steeldealers.com.
What are you thinking?
Thinking about burger, fries, and some pie.
You know it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, then bring the pie first.
Thought you'd seen every burger deal out there? Well, meet Perkins' new burger, fries, and pie combo, just $9.99. That's right, any of our big American specialty burgers, crispy fries, and a slice of famous Perkins pie, only $9.99. A classic deal plus dessert only at Perkins.
When severe weather strikes your community, be prepared with a WDAY Storm Tracker team. Our weather experts have the experience.
Kardashian told Vogue that she began a 4-year apprenticeship with a law firm in San Francisco last summer. She says she became inspired after she helped a 63-year-old Marie Johnson be released from prison. Johnson was in jail on a first-time nonviolent drug offense. Kardashian says she is required to log 18 hours of supervised study per week and plans to take the bar exam in 2022. Her father was Robert Kardashian, and he was also a lawyer who famously represented O.J. Simpson.
Cashless Amazon Go stores will start taking cash. There are 10 Amazon Go stores in the United States where cameras and artificial intelligence sensors detect products customers take from the shelf. Shoppers are automatically charged through their phones when they leave, but some critics say the system discriminates against millions of people without bank accounts and disproportionately hurts minorities, immigrants, and senior citizens. Amazon did not say when Go stores will start accepting cash. Go stores are now located in San Francisco, Chicago, and Seattle. Amazon is reportedly considering opening up to 3,000 stores by 2021.
An abortion procedure bill in North Dakota is now waiting on approval from a federal appeals court or the U.S. Supreme Court after getting signed by Governor Doug Burgum. Burgum signed the bill yesterday, outlining the abortion procedure known as dilation and evacuation. The bill makes it a crime for a doctor to perform an abortion using clamps, scissors, and forceps to remove a fetus from the womb. Doctors performing the procedure could be charged with a felony, which would be punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Opponents say the ban interferes with private medical decisions. Similar laws in other states are on hold because of legal challenges.
At a store, you can find peanuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, tree nuts, and many more. It turns out grabbing a pack or container could help your heart, especially if you have diabetes. Researchers say people who ate 5 or more servings each week had a 17% lower risk of heart disease and 31% lower risk of death. Among the different kinds of nuts, tree nuts showed to be the most beneficial.
The Twins have wrapped up their 3-city road trip with a loss against the Mets. With snow awaiting them on their return, last night's game may be their last for a while. Minnesota started off strong with a hit to center by Max Kepler. Twins lead 1-0 in the third. Going into the 5th inning, the Twins struggled to throw strikes. They walked 3 in a row with the bases loaded. New York built a 9-1 lead and went on to win 9-6. Walmart is making its stores more eco-friendly when you'll be able to pick up a reusable bag from the retail giant.
And be sure to give your furry, feathered, or scaled friends some extra love today. We'll tell you more about National Pet Day coming up.
A little time with my favorite people goes a long way. And now at Denny's, $5.99 goes a long way too. You can get 2 eggs, 3 sausage links, 3 strips of bacon, and 2 buttermilk pancakes, all for just $5.99. The new Meat Lover Slam is here. See you at Denny's.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. Get just over $3,700 below MSRP on this 2019 Buick Encore. Or current eligible non-GM owners get just over $5,600 below MSRP when you finance through GM Financial.
He was just another poor farm boy facing an uncertain future in the Black Hills of South Dakota. But through a series of events only God could orchestrate, the young man was transformed by a message that would end up touching millions of lives throughout the world. Discover what God can do with just one person that answers his call. Watch the Christian Worship Hour this week and learn about the amazing new film, Heart of a Shepherd, The Extraordinary Life of Harold E. Salem. Visit ChristianWorshipHour.com for more information about the film and weekly program times.
Just like any other family, the house, the kids, they're living the dream. Then here comes the wacky new maid.
Maid? I'm not the...
Is she an alien? Is she a spy? She's always here, someone tell us why. She's not the maid we wanted.
Because I'm not the maid.
But she's the maid we got.
Again, I'm not the maid. I protect your home and auto.
Hey, Campbell's, who's your new maid?
Hi, I'm Matt Fallon, preaching pastor at Messiah's Hour of Worship television broadcast. As kids, many of us learned the 10 Commandments. The 3rd commandment is to honor the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Messiah's Hour of Worship is on the air to help you keep this very important precept of the Lord. Please support and attend your local church. But if for whatever reason that's not possible, tune into this channel on Sunday mornings at 11 and join us for worship. May God bless you and yours in all the seasons of life.
Good friends deserve great burgers. Denny's 100% beef burgers have bold flavors and fresh ingredients. So grab your friends today and enjoy one of our mouth-watering burgers together. See you at Denny's.
The weather is brought to you by Northwest Tire.
Walmart customers will soon have the option to buy reusable bags at the checkout. The company says it'll roll out its reusable bag initiative next month. The bags will be made of recycled plastic and be available for 98 cents. Other retailers and governments are making a push to reduce single-use plastic bags and items. Most plastics are not biodegradable, so they pile up in landfills, contribute to greenhouse gases, and pollute the oceans. And pet owners know every day feels like National Pet Day, but today it's official. It's a time to pay special attention to your best friend, and species is irrelevant. Some people have furry dogs and cats, and others prefer feathered friends, fish, or even scaly snakes. Whatever companion brings you joy, take some time today to make sure you're providing the very best environment. Throw away toys that may have become unsafe, verify vaccinations are up to date, and check tags and other forms of ID in case your pet gets lost. And if you don't have a pet, it's a great time to visit your local shelter and maybe offer an animal in need a loving home forever. You're going to have to give some storms some extra love today, especially because a snowstorm is coming too.
He has a fitting name for my Maine Coon at home, so I'm sure he'll be sitting right here when I get home. That's usually the case. Lay back on the couch, he's got to become a scarf. This is usually his scenario. Anyway, yeah, I'll be watching the snow come down later on today. This morning, just a few flurries in southern half of the valley. As the morning continues on, this will lift northward. We are going to see snow. Just this morning commute, we may just get ahead of it, especially the northern half of the valley. The snow doesn't look like it'll move in till later on today. Still a lot of headlines out there. Toughest conditions, eastern South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota with the blizzard warning. They're going to have the strongest winds. Still going to get very gusty for the valley here, just not as strong winds as the south. In the northern half of the valley, not as much snow, but travel will be impacted by the breeze and the snow developing here. So it's going to be kind of a two-day situation. I think the toughest part of the storm is going to be this afternoon toward the evening hours for much of the valley, as that'll kind of filter on in, and that'll last overnight tonight. Tomorrow, still pretty windy with maybe not as intensive snowfall rates as expected. We'll still have some out there, and then the system will move out Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, we should get some sunshine. We'll get to melting this, compacting it right away. It's not all going to go over the weekend, but as we head into next week, we should get some help there as temperatures will try to get back a little bit closer to seasonal. We'll have a chance for some showers around Tuesday. Grand Forks today and tomorrow hovering really close to those lower 30s, just really not changing much in the temperature trend for today and tomorrow. The snow develops for Grand Forks. I was kind of thinking about the evening commute is when you're going to start to see that. So late afternoon, May the earliest, and then sunshine for the weekend, hovering there in some 30s to lower 40s. And then next week, we should get back up into some 40s to maybe some 50s. So the chance for showers looks like around Tuesday. I'm going to come back in just a little bit, talk more about the snow and the wind, go over the timing, give you an idea how much we could see here as we head into the next couple days.
All right, we'll check right back for that full forecast. And a former Concordia quarterback is making strides on his road to recovery. How Michael Herzog is healing almost a month after being caught in an explosion.
Healthy Systems USA Spring Sale. Save $200 off our 2-month weight loss program. That's less than $7 per day. Save $200 and lose up to 30 to 50 pounds by summer. Call us today or order online.
I was proud of my son when he got his degree. I was proud when he got that job in the city, managed a team. But the day I was most proud was when he realized he was a farmer, like me.
We're Corteva Agriscience, the next generation of farming for the next generation of farmers. Keep growing.
Protect vehicles, outdoor equipment, and more with Shelter Logic from Menards and get 11% off everything. Garages and sheds assemble quickly to block the elements and stop harmful UV rays while protecting your investments. And make your backyard get-togethers better with a Shelter Logic canopy. Large or small, there's a Shelter Logic canopy or shelter to meet your needs. And right now, they're all 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The Beach Boys back on the road. Friday, May 10th, Shooting Star Casino Hotel and Entertainment, Monoma. Enjoy over 5 decades of timeless American-made classics. Buy tickets now at starcasino.com or the box office. A national treasure of endless harmonies. Don't miss the Beach Boys live.
Never judge a truck by its cover, unless it's an Access. Access offers innovative tonneau covers, from roll-up to folding, low profile to increased capacity, starting at just $279.95. Visit radco.com and purchase your Access cover online to receive free same-day shipping or free professional installation when you select store pickup at checkout.
Radco and Access tonneau covers. Make your truck your way.
Healthy Systems USA Spring Sale. Save $200 off our 2-month weight loss program. That's less than $7 per day. Save $200 and lose up to 30 to 50 pounds by summer. Call us today or order online.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
That snowstorm that Jared has been talking about all morning is beginning to make its way into the region.
Unfortunately, it is. Well, WDAY reporter Emily Olson has been following that storm all morning, and she's joining us live to show us what it looks like just south of Fargo. Good morning, Emily.
Rob, Sarah, good morning. Right now I am in Hankinson, and earlier in the show we were in downtown Hankinson where there was a little bit more coverage from the buildings and the neighborhoods, and now we're in more open country. You can probably see how much more windy it is from my hood blowing up on the back of my head, but we're by the Welcome to Hankinson sign, and across where I am right now is a completely open field, which is why it feels much more windy out here. And as we were driving down here, we took I-29. There wasn't too much snow. There was more of scattered snow flurries that weren't really sticking until we got to Wahpeton, and that's when you could see the snow starting to pile up while we were out on the road. On I-29 past Wahpeton, those roads have not been plowed yet. However, they didn't make too much of any difficulties for us as we're driving here to Hankinson. But coming up later on the show, we're going to head back into town and show you what conditions look like in there. Back to you guys.
Stay warm there, Emily. That wind's just making it not too comfortable outside is what I would say. Snow is just to our south, so that's going to be moving in here throughout the day, just turning very windy across the south. Just taking its time here as we just still have a northeast wind kind of holding off that snow. It's a drier wind and drier air is in place right now. But as we continue throughout the day, this system will continue to lift northward. I think Fargo-Moorhead to the border with South Dakota, about mid-morning to late morning to around lunchtime is when this is really going to start to fill in or start to see that accumulating snow. Winds are going to be just picking up, so blowing that around quite a bit. Grand Forks doesn't look like till about late afternoon toward the evening hours we're going to see that snow push northward up to around Bemidji, that U.S. Highway 2 corridor. And then as we continue throughout the day here, this will continue to fill in. Got this pause at midnight tonight, so much of the area seeing the snow, feeling the effects of the wind and the blowing snow. Very tough travel late in the day, overnight into tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I could see this just kind of slowly tapering off throughout the day, just meaning it won't be as intense of rain or snowfall amounts coming on down. It'll still be snowing and kind of blowing as it is going to be quite windy throughout the day. Got this pause at noon on Friday, but maybe just not as intense as it will be later on today, as the initial snowfall rates will be a little bit higher. Saturday, some sunshine, quieter day for us. We'll get to melting some of this, not all of it, but we'll get to compacting it, at least for much of the area. Forecast storm totals, not as much in the north. Around Grand Forks, between there and Fargo-Moorhead, we're going to be in that 4 to 8 inch range, and then Fargo-Moorhead to the border around that 8 to 12. In Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, we may end up seeing quite a bit of snow there. We could see maybe over a foot in some places, especially as you get down into eastern South Dakota, Millbank, Wabash area. Enemy Swim, maybe if you know some of those lakes down there in northeastern parts of South Dakota, could be seeing that. Otherwise, the wind right now out of the northeast, it's already pretty breezy. Wind trend will be increasing. We could have some gusts later on today into the 30s, even some into the 40s. So it's going to get quite blustery out there. Temperature trend, it's chilly. Not going to fluctuate very much here at all today or tomorrow, so we are going to be staying quite cool for today, tomorrow, and then trying to get a little bit warmer as we head over the weekend. I had some really neat photos sent in of the sky pictures kind of over the Red River in the past couple days. I want to share some of those with you coming up here, and of course, I'll continue to cover the winter storm for what you need to know here to prepare for today and tomorrow.
Former Concordia College quarterback Michael Herzog is making remarkable progress after being involved in an accident while fishing on a lake. Herzog was severely burned in a fish house explosion around St. Patrick's Day. He's being treated at Regents Hospital in St. Paul. Herzog suffered serious burns on 76% of his body. The most recent Caringbridge update says he might not have to receive any skin grafts or go through any more surgeries. The doctors even went as far as to say that in 2 years, you won't be able to notice that he was in an accident at all.
This weekend, winter is coming, and so is the money. The final season of Game of Thrones is on HBO and expected to reach record-breaking ratings. And now other companies are looking to cash in on the global phenomenon. From makeup lines with sword-shaped eyeshadow brushes to jousting Super Bowl ads, the cross-branding is coming. Tech company Duolingo will teach you to speak High Valyrian like a queen. Adidas has 6 different sneakers representing the various warring factions. Nabisco recreated the show's iconic opening using nearly 3,000 cookies to promote their limited edition Oreos, and Mountain Dew's Can with No Name takes inspiration from Arya Stark's infamous kill list.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved a new drug aimed at treating postmenopausal women at serious risk for bone fractures. It goes by the brand named Evenity. It's expected to be available from select wholesalers in the U.S. for doctors to order in about a week. However, there are side effects to Evenity. The FDA says it may increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, and cardiovascular death.
And it's the news NDSU wasn't hoping to hear, as sophomore running back Seth Wilson will miss the upcoming season with a torn ACL. WDAY Sports first responded on Wilson's status on Monday. Bison head coach Matt Entz confirmed the injury yesterday. Wilson was injured in a non-contact drill Friday. He's played in just 12 games in his first 2 years in Fargo, but has been explosive in that short time frame. He used his red shirt last season, playing in the maximum 4 games.
Why did the camel cross the road? Well, the answer is to find out how much he weighed. Last Sunday, Jeffrey the camel was taken to a PetSmart in Michigan. Jeffrey is part of Lewis Farms and Petting Zoo in Muskegon. His trainer needed to know the camel's exact weight in order to know how much medicine and vaccines that Jeffrey needed. A video on the zoo's Facebook showing Jeffrey heading into the PetSmart went viral with more than 100,000 views.
Well, I thought he was going in there just to test to see if they really allow all pets.
And I think the answer is yes, they do.
They do.
All pets.
Okay.
Well, despite the sudden snow, people in Fargo are determined to ride their bikes.
In a few minutes, we'll tell you how the Great Rides bike share is doing in the snow and who's using it this spring.
So a genie tells me I can only have one wish. Here's what I say. More wishes, please.
Gordman's is on the grow again. Look for new stores popping up all over. Hashtag got it at Gordman's.
The toughest truck in the Northland is back for a limited time. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's got best-in-class towing and payload. Also best-in-class horsepower. Plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. Don't miss your chance to get a 2019 Northland Edition F-150. Get over $11,000 in total savings plus $750 Northland cash on a Northland Edition F-150 at your local Northland Ford dealer.
When the time comes to care for your loved ones, you want someone that's been around a while, with a reputation for compassion and excellence. You can't always predict the future, but you can prepare for it. For 80 years, Bethany Retirement Living has been there for whatever tomorrow brings. So keep living your best life, and we will be here when you need us. Reside, relax, rehab, Bethany Retirement Living. Online at bethanynd.org.
When severe weather strikes your community, be prepared with a WDAY Storm Tracker team. Our weather experts have the experience you need to keep you and your family safe, bringing you the most comprehensive coverage in the region. Get updates and alerts specific to your community on TV, on radio, online, and on the Storm Tracker app. When you need to stay informed, turn to the only name that matters. WDAY Storm Tracker.
Fun news, Gordman shoppers. G Rewards is now Style Circle Rewards. That's a $5 payback reward for every 100 points earned, and double points for store card holders every day. And points count at Stage stores and Stage.com too. Bigger deals, smaller prices. Hashtag got it at Gordman's.
Hey, Culligan Man here. Notice this scale on your shower? This comes from dissolved rock in groundwater that's pumped into your home's water supply. Install the world's most efficient water softener from Culligan.
Get started for $29 per month.
Imagine a good morning spent with friends. What's better than that? Imagine knowing what's coming next in the day ahead. Well, I get to live this each morning together with you. Imagine that. And that's what makes it such a good morning, America.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
This morning, I just wanted to share with you some of the photos we've been seeing show up in our inbox for our email. This is from a couple days ago, sunrise near Abercrombie there from Ron Strand sent this in. Just really cool shot there of the sky. I'll step off screens. You don't need to see me, especially with this cool shot. A lot of neat colors there with the sunrise. Another one on the Red River east of Harwood, assuming the similar time frame here, but from a different location. From Brian sent this in, so neat shot there. And just I know it's kind of tough for a lot of us dealing with the flooding right now, but eventually this will kind of back off for us. Just got to give it some time. Also having to deal with the winter storm that's right on the horizon here. It is just south of the border. Even seeing some thunder snow kind of move into south central parts of Minnesota there, just near Marshall, Minnesota. Otherwise, snow extending to Alexandria, just north of Twin Cities. There's some drier air up toward the valley right now. It's kind of holding that snow off this morning, but it's getting awfully close for us. Seeing that snow, Aberdeen to Sisseton and more, this will fill in throughout the day. We may have just a few flurries, but you can see that initial line of the snow just crossing over the border, and still multiple headlines. So the heavy snow will eventually fill in here throughout the day. Just the morning commute, if you have a little longer drive, you may just get ahead of it, but it's going to be a lot tougher coming home later on, as conditions are definitely going to worsen throughout the day. Northern half the valley, it's probably going to be okay here. It's just going to be pretty blustery throughout midday into the afternoon until late afternoon toward the evening. That's when that snow looks like it'll move in up near Grand Forks. For Fargo, Moorhead, in the southern half of the valley, it's going to be sooner. It's going to be there during the morning hours, especially during lunchtime, and getting a little bit worse there as we head toward the afternoon and the evening. That's when I think we'll have the most intense part of the storm for Fargo, Moorhead. It's going to be very windy in the afternoon and the evening, and it's also going to be snowing quite hard as well. So I'm sure you have many weather questions about this. I'll be going over the timing, giving you an idea how much we'll see and when this thing will finally move on out coming up.
Well, despite that snowstorm, people in Fargo are all ready to ride around on bicycles. Great Rides Bike Share put out 80 bikes at 10 different stations over the last few days. They plan to have 100 total. NDSU students can use the bikes for free. Everyone else can either pay $4 online or at a kiosk to use them. The pros say, don't let a little snow affect your urge to ride a bike. And the Pittsburgh Penguins and Matt Cullen opened up the playoffs against the Islanders. It's another former local standout that shines at the start. Warroad's Brock Nelson camps in front of the crease and scores on the power play to make it 2-1 New York. The game goes to overtime, tied at 3 points. Then Matthew Barzal makes a couple moves, but Josh Bailey cleans up the rebound for the game winner. And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at some events happening around the region today. And Jared tells us what the current weather is going to look like.
A little time with my favorite people goes a long way. And now at Denny's, $5.99 goes a long way too. You can get 2 eggs, 3 sausage links, 3 strips of bacon, and 2 buttermilk pancakes, all for just $5.99. The new Meat Lover Slam is here. See you at Denny's.
Battery power. Made by Steel. One battery, multiple tools. Right now, get a battery trimmer or battery blower at just $199.95. Visit SteelDealers.com.
The toughest truck in the Northland is back for a limited time. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's got best-in-class towing and payload. Also best-in-class horsepower. Plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. Don't miss your chance to get a 2019 Northland Edition F-150. Get over $11,000 in total savings plus $750 Northland cash on a Northland Edition F-150 at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm Matt Fallon, preaching pastor at Messiah's Hour of Worship television broadcast. As kids, many of us learned the 10 Commandments. The third commandment is to honor the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Messiah's Hour of Worship is on the air to help you keep this very important precept of the Lord. Please support and attend your local church. But if for whatever reason that's not possible, tune into this channel on Sunday mornings at 11 and join us for worship. May God bless you and yours in all the seasons of life.
I'm Paige, and well, the little thing that I like about the grilled chicken sandwich is that it's picture perfect. It's juicy, and it just has all the right combinations. I think I can be considered a grilled chicken sandwich influencer.
My name is Frank, and the little thing I like about the grilled chicken sandwich is the first bite. I love how juicy the chicken is, but there's also the tomatoes and the lettuce, and it's incredible. Make sure you get it with waffle fries, because that's my favorite.
Good friends deserve great burgers. Denny's 100% beef burgers have bold flavors and fresh ingredients. So grab your friends today and enjoy one of our mouth-watering burgers together. See you at Denny's.